and welcome back to the career mode series. Today we're at Bahrain for round 2. We cut on to the end of our first flying lap in Q1. We go provisional P1 and it's enough to see us into Q2. And we cut on to the end of our first lap in Q2 and it's enough for P2, which is also enough to see us into Q3. And cutting on to the end of our first lap of Q3 and it's only enough for P5, which is the slowest lap so far. So we're going to have a few more laps. And cutting on to the second lap now and we go P7. But there is definitely still room to improve our lap time. And cutting on to the end of our third flying lap now, we improve our time, but we stay in P7. And let's see the grid.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, with Nico Rosberg alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Ricciardo, Vettel, Max Verstappen and Raikkonen, Toro Rosso, Perez, Massa and Carlos Sainz, Button, Bottas, Nico Hülkenberg and Alonso, Grosjean, Wehrlein, Esteban Gutierrez and Felipe Nasser, Ericsson and Magnussen, Rio Haryanto and Jolyon Palmer rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
It's 5 lights for the Bahrain Grand Prix and away we go. Looks like we've got a decent start, but Verstappen is looking to overtake and Vettel is also going to look at Rosberg into turn 1 and we go around the outside to try and gain some positions and turns into the inside for this corner. We're side by side with Verstappen, but he's able to stay in front of us. And now down into this next corner we overtake Verstappen and we hold it around the outside, and that is P5 for us just now. But we look to get a good run on Vettel and dive up the inside into this next right-hander, and that is now P4 for us. That's been a good start to the Grand Prix. But cutting on to the end of lap 3 and we've got a good run on Daniel Ricciardo, go out to overtake, and that is now P3 for us as we go into lap 4 as the two Mercedes battle on for P1. As we now cut on to lap 6 and we're now coming into the pits to put on a set of medium tyres and hopefully don't get held up, but unfortunately we do get held up behind Verstappen, and looks like we get a good run out of turn 2. We look to overtake Max Verstappen into turn 4. We go later on the brakes and up the inside into current P19. But cutting on to lap 9 and it looks like we've got a good run on Vettel. We dive up the inside and that is a good overtake for current P10, but Vettel sticks it in the inside. We try and hold it around the outside but it's no good, and Raikkonen also steals a spot from us. But we're going to look to go up the inside into turn 4 and we get back the two Ferrari cars as we get a wee bit of oversteer. Cutting on to the start of lap 11 and looks like we've got a good run on Jolyon Palmer with DRS up the inside into turn 1, and that is a fairly easy move on the Renault driver. And now we cut on to lap 14 as Raikkonen goes up the inside and we try to hold it around the outside into turn 1, and that is good defensive moves from us. But we now cut on to lap 17 and we are into the pits once again, this time for a set of soft tyres, the yellow walled tyre. and we now cut on to lap 17 still, and we go up the inside of Gutierrez, the Haas driver, and that is a simple move on a slower car. Then we cut on to lap 18 and we're going to go up the inside of Max Verstappen once again, and we get a bit of oversteer, and now cutting on to lap 20 as our teammates in the pits, and Vettel overtakes us into the last corner, but we try and stick around the outside, but we go a wee bit wide there, and that allows Vettel back through. But we do get DRS as the Red Bull of Verstappen overtakes us as well. It's almost going to be 3 wide here into turn 1, and we look to hold our position, and we somehow manage to stay in front of Vettel and Verstappen there. That was good defence from us. But cutting on to lap 22 now, and Verstappen is going to overtake us once again, but we're going to hold it around the outside again, and that is a bit of oversteer there as Verstappen comes back at us again, and now he has got P8, and Vettel overtakes again, but as Verstappen locks up very much so, and we get a bit of oversteer. Cutting on to lap 24 now, and Verstappen is overtaking us once again as Ricardo comes out of the pits, and we're going to try and go up the inside of him into turn 2, and that is a successful move from us. But cutting on to lap 25, we've had to come into the pits once again for a set of super soft tyres, as Verstappen also goes into the pits, and we're going to try and look to get in front of him again into turn 4, and we have done that successfully. Now we cut on to the last lap and to the checkered flag, and we only come home for just P12. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the career mode. If you did, leave a like, share the video around, and subscribe to the channel for more F1 videos, including this series and the Sergio Perez career. So hope to see you next time, and goodbye.